The Suicune event is actually giving us more mains. Welcome back to another Pokemon Sleep video. It's Bro Vinny here. Today we are talking about the Suicune event's community research Suicune main drop rates. Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I am talking about when you open your research envelopes and the game gives you candies, there's a chance that your friends may give you mains during the Suicune event during this 2-week period. And it seems like every legendary event, the developers alter the rates of these mains drop slightly. And it's rather annoying because every time I have to recollect the data, and a shout out to /Burner who's helping me out with this, in order to determine whether we are getting more or less mains than the previous legendary event. And I'm pleased to say that based on preliminary results, we are actually overall getting more mains than Entei research. Let me show you how. Now this is a chart made by Banana Tanks which showed our research community drop rates of mains for the Entei event. If you have closeness 0 to 4, there's a 10% chance that when a friend sends candies, they will also send you a batch of main. If they are closeness 2 to 4, they will send you a batch that contains 2 mains. At closeness 5, not only are they more likely to send you a batch, they also send you a large batch, which contains 3 mains. So the more high closeness friends you have, the better. In fact, if all of your friends are closeness 5 and you have 50 of them, then 50 times 3 and 18% of that is 27 mains. So that's the amount of mains you expect to get if you only have closeness 5 friends. And that's the goal for everyone, to have more high closeness friends. But if you've been paying attention, the batch of mains that you get from your friends for the Suicune event has actually dropped significantly. In fact, all of closeness 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 all now only give 1 main every time a batch of main is given. At closeness 5, you get 2 mains in a batch. So overall, there's a reduction in the amount given every time a friend sends a batch of Suicune mains compared to the Entei event. Now at first, it might seem like a nerf, but as long as the drop chance or the chance of them giving you mains has gone up enough, then overall you might get the same or even more mains than before. So I made a post about this about 3 days ago. It seemed at first that community mains had actually gone down because closeness 0 to 4 gave 1 main each and closeness 5 gave 2 mains. But if more friends are giving mains, then it's fine. So the question is, how many more friends are giving mains? How much has this increased by as the developers had promised? Once again, this is very preliminary results. We are still on low sample size, especially for the low closeness levels 0 to 4. So I need your help if you guys want accurate results for references in the future. Because as you might know, sometimes you need to calculate how much mains you're expected to get every day to plan out what to exchange from the event exchange shop. So help us out with submitting your data. New players are especially encouraged to submit data because you're going to have more low closeness level friends than the long-term players. As you can see here, we now have close to 3,000 data points for closeness 5 and we're getting really accurate results. But it's much worse at closeness 0 to 4, each closeness only getting about 200 data points. And because the drop rate is lower, we need more data for the data to be more accurate. Regardless, here are the current preliminary results. Now I'm going to put your attention down to this table here and ignore the first one. They are actually the same thing, but the first one may have issues with border cases. What the border cases mean are sometimes some research envelopes are carried over from Sunday and they may not have a chance to give mains at all, and we don't know how this cutoff actually happens. So we start counting the actual data about a half to a day after the event actually begins, which is this table down here. Now I'm going to simplify the numbers for you. For closeness 0 to 1, we are currently looking at about 15% chance to give mains. So that is an increase compared to before. We're getting an extra 5% chance to drop mains for these two closeness levels. In other words, expecting about 7.5 mains per day if your entire friend list is made of closeness 0 or 1 friends. Now, while the closeness 2 to 3 had reduced the amounts dropped, the chance to drop has gone up significantly. So it was previously about 10%. Right now, the chance to drop mains has gone up to approximately 30%. And that's an overall buff as well. Because while we're getting half the mains here, we're getting 3 times the mains here, giving you an expected outcome of about 15 mains per day if your entire list of friends are comprised of closeness 2 to 4 friends. As for closeness 5, in other words, the long-term players where most of their friends are at closeness 5, yes, we got a reduction in the amount of mains dropped, but we also got an increase in the amount of friends sending them. And it is currently sitting also at 30%. So from an 18 to 30% jump, it very slightly overcompensates for the 33% reduction in the amount dropped. Previously, we were expecting about 27 mains per day from all closeness 5 friends. Now we're expecting about 30. So overall, no matter what closeness you're at, we are actually expecting more mains based on our current data. Unfortunately, our sample size is just not big enough just yet. But I wanted to get this data out there so that it can help you guys plan your mains for the rest of the event. We will be reanalyzing this data towards the end of the event to see if anything has changed, but hopefully this has given you guys an idea of what to expect from your research community and help you plan your mains out a little better. Shout out to everyone who's submitted data for this research, especially to Mellows, who's submitted the most data points so far. Also to Riker, Gridola, Catasium, Mumuda, Catherine, Ace Slider, Toff Condamore, Cape Marco, Chardizzle, Brovini, Marit Watery, Ash, Jelly Belly, Nicororo, Hokassa, Mechanism, Sir Breakalot, Matcha, Doc Actor, Amariz, Slashburner, Tuna, Dinosachi, Bug the Nurse, Alpha Therodon, RRM, TM Romance, Irupki, Charsarazard, Dsuk, Patokatos, The Gaming Eevee, Keedum, Dewdrop, Axel, Silver Garnet, Moonlight, Favros, Velocity Raptor, Izenga, Testdata, and everyone else. I'll leave a link in the comment section below if you guys want to help out with this research, especially those of you who have friends who are of low closeness level. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.